So guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So talking about SGI10, SGI10 is going to be Saturday, 7th of May. It's going to be at the usual place, Maryhill Community Hall. So obviously SGI's home for the last 9 events. So we're going to be back again Saturday, May the 7th. Now, going to be a little bit special this time. Obviously, the last 9, there was no pay-per-view on it. So we've been building up. And now we're at a point where pay-per-view is a must. So there's going to be pay-per-view on the 7th of May, going to be commentators. Fighters are going to walk out to their own music as well, which, again, is going to be a first. So, Scott, I hope you've got a good song picked out.
I hadn't thought about it, but I do now.
So, yeah, going to come out to their own music, which, again, is awesome because, obviously, they come out, music gets their adrenaline pumping, it's their own song. It's everybody's got a song. Right, everybody has a song. They always think about it. If I was to walk out in an event, whether it be a jiu-jitsu, a grappling, MMA event, what would I walk out to? Everybody's thought about it. Even people will be sitting there saying, yeah, everybody's done it. So we're going to hear the fighters. There's going to be some interesting music choices. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to that. So pay-per-view on the night. Pay-per-view is available from the Scottish Grappling page, and obviously tickets as well. So anybody that is going to be in attendance tonight, make sure you get your tickets directly from Scottish Grappling, and it will take you directly through to their booking system. So we're already looking at an unbelievably stacked card from start to finish. Obviously headlined by Dominic Dillon and Kieran Brohan. So again, it's going to be an unbelievable main event that we're going to see. So obviously my guest tonight's going to be on the show. Scott McGill of Draig. So obviously a team under Ashley Williams, which have taken competition by storm at the moment. They're absolutely running riot over competition wherever they're going. They just came back from obviously an awesome. I think we were there. What was it? A few days you were away, Scott?
It was a full week.
Was it a full week? So
it was a full week, aye. So they done 7 days of training. I done 6 because on the last day I burnt my feet and I couldn't put any shoes or sandals or anything on.
Right.
So I couldn't go on the last day. But
Scottish thing to do, mate.
I know. So white.
So yeah, listen, Draig's taking the competition scene by storm at the moment. As I say, they're out there competing in everything they can. As I said, you've got them on invitationals, they're at local comps, they're at the bigger comps and stuff like that. Yeah. So Draig are all over the place at the moment, which is absolutely awesome. As I say, we love Ash, and obviously the guys down at Draig. So yeah, obviously Scott, as I say, he's going to be on the show that night. Scott's been on before. We've seen him SGI10, I believe it was. So obviously got a win at the last one, a submission victory at that SGI7, and I think I spoke to you Evolution of Combat 9 as well. Yeah. So
chat after that.
Yeah, so it was a great chat again. Another victory on that as well. So fingers crossed, another victory on May the 7th.
Crossed. That's it. Yeah. Fingers crossed. You've got to trust the process and just you sink to the level of your training. So I've just got to train hard, make sure I'm ready for it.
That's the one thing. I mean, obviously, see, when you were obviously 10th planet, I mean, you were awesome. Absolutely brilliant to watch. Really, really good grappler to watch. Very entertaining as well. And then, obviously, now that you've went to Draig, right, or now that you're under Ash and so on, so it's going to be interesting to see what changes and stuff like that you've made.
I think they've had a big influence on me already. Yeah. It's only been about 3 or 4 months since we changed over, and they've had a massive influence on my game completely already. So I'm really looking forward to going out and putting it out there. I actually thought that my last match could have been more exciting. I just kept going for the same entry, so I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to keep pushing, try to get the excitement up. Yeah. Because people pay to watch it, so I may as well give them a good show and try and get myself out there and try and get people to think I'm exciting to watch.
Yeah. And it's obviously the boys, Jack and McGill as well, going to be on the show. So obviously you three are like the 3 musketeers.
I know.
One goes, the other 2 go. So, but it's awesome to see the 3 of you again on another show.
I know. I'm buzzing to be on the same card as them. I'm buzzing to be representing Draig as well. So it's class. Yeah. It really is good.
Yeah. How's everything going training wise then? So I know obviously you mentioned you were away there for a week, but how's training going generally for yourself?
Generally, I've actually been coaching a wee bit more recently than training. So I'm really needing to get my head down with the training. I've just made the leap, we'll say, and I've went part-time in my work. So try to pursue jiu-jitsu full time. It was difficult, but I'm finally starting to get there. So I'm down to 3 days, so it's opened up so much more time for me to train. I'm going to be training twice a day some days, especially coming up to SGI. I don't want to have any excuses to be unfit, or there's no reason for it. So
yeah. And that's one thing. I mean, you've got a lot of training partners. Obviously, you mentioned obviously over at Reaper Coaching, and obviously at Marcos's as well. Obviously coming over and training at Marcos's a bit. And with the coaching, I mean, the one thing about coaching, I mean, people always say, "Oh, well, I'm coaching," but coaching lets you break down the moves. Obviously, see when we are learning the move off someone, we're maybe not breaking it down as much as a coach would.
no.
So that side will certainly help with obviously your game as well.
Yeah, what I've found is whatever I'm teaching that week, it doesn't go out my head for the whole week. So I could be at work and all I'm thinking about is what I'm going to teach and thinking about how to break it down and trying to break it into concepts for people so that they can pick it up easier. Rather than just going, oh, this is a move, like you put your foot here, you do this. There's reasons as to why you do things. So I'm trying to get it broken down to that point.
Yeah.
And it's hard, but it's good. It is
Definitely.
good.
We do see it. I mean, some of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world are also coaches. They also teach classes. They also have got maybe their own schools and stuff like that as well. And as I said, I always hear when people say about coaching, like, "Oh, I coach all the time," but then obviously the coach's mind, as you said, it's never off. You're always thinking about stuff, and then obviously you're thinking about, like, you maybe midway through a week, you're on Wednesday and you're already thinking about what am I going to do next week. Do you know what I mean? So it's that one step ahead of everything.
That is like that. The thing is, though, it does take away from your training, so you've got to try and find that nice balance between it.
Yeah,
because it's you might think that you're training when you're coaching, especially if you take part in the live drills at the end of the class and stuff like that, but you're not.
Yeah.
You still need to be coached yourself. So that's one thing I'm kind of struggling to get to grips with, is the finding the right balance of it.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there.
So you're going to be responsible for the next generation of Reaper grappling animals.
Hope so, yeah. Me and Chris, Chris and Dougie are performing a good wee team together, and we're really trying to put a lot into it, and we're trying to build the gym. So hopefully we've got some good guys coming out of there soon, especially getting into the local comps. So I'll be out coaching them during the local comps as well, and we're just going to try and push it because there's a good wee squad of guys in there that really want to compete. So it helps.
I know that Ash is going to be coming up as well. I know he was supposed to do a seminar there. Obviously, he had some travelling issues. He couldn't get up for obviously
the roads were shut and all that. It was wild.
The roads were shut. I remember he was doing you probably seen it, but he was doing because wherever Ash goes, he does the Q&As. So obviously, obviously live on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And then, as I said, he was driving. He's like, yeah, I'm on my way to the airport. Ask me any questions, and it got to a certain point. He's like, shit, I'm not going anywhere. The road's shut. That was it. On his way back to Swansea. So
I know, because he was meant to be coming up to State Mine, so he was meant to phone me when he was at the airport, and the time was just going on and on and on. And then I was just watching these stories. I was like, he's not making it. There's no chance.
So, but he did it live, and that was the thing. Right? We were watching it live, and obviously when he was supposed to be on the show, and people were like, he's never coming. He's never coming at all. And the thing is, because it was live as well, you know, some people when they pull out of a fight, you're like, did that really happen? But then you're like, yeah, everybody's seen he wasn't getting to the airport at all.
No, his was legit, and he wants an excuse to fight anybody.
Yeah,
he just wants as much experience as he can get. So he's happy to travel up here for a fight. Yeah, he's happy to drive the 9 hours to come up for one match and go back. Like he's a different animal, that boy.
I spent it was Valentine's Day. It was a promotion for Evolution of Combat, and then I remember messaging him. I think I messaged him about 5:30. Right, and I said, Ash, obviously I'll set up an interview. Normally I do it, and then we usually, same as obviously we've done with you, we messaged you last night, we set it up for the next day, or usually within a couple of days. And Ash is like, yeah, let me finish my dinner first. And I'm like, what? And he was having obviously a dinner with his missus and stuff like that. And then And this was Valentine's Day. And I remember coming on to be like, Ash, it's Valentine's Day. Obviously, spend it with your wife and stuff like that. And he's like, no, it's fine. This is our present. The present was the interview that me and him did together. So, and he just says, no, listen, see if anybody wants to talk, I'll talk straight away. If I'm not doing anything, let's do it. Which
yeah, it's really good that way, actually.
Yeah, absolute gentleman.
He always gets back to you. He's a nice, he's a really nice guy. Aye. Brilliant.
Yeah. And then what about you, SGI then? So SGI10, how did you find out you were going to be on the show that night, Scott?
I'd applied for it when they first put out for fighters, but I didn't get matched.
Yeah.
And then one of the boys in Reaper sent me a screenshot of them saying someone had pulled out under 75. And
Stevie
I walk
B,
about at like 73, 74. So I was like, straight away, I'm 75. I knew I was going for that training camp. And I knew I was cutting my days. I was like, I'll be ready for that. So
yeah.
I just threw my name in. I just said, I'm under 75. I've changed team right enough, but this is that. And then he went, let me get back to you. And about an hour later, came back saying the match is yours. So that was good. That was when I was in Gran Canaria with them all as well.
Yeah.
That was
nice.
That was brilliant.
It was obviously, I think Cal was due to fight Stevie Way. Stevie Way unfortunately had to pull out. So obviously, best wishes to Stevie. I hope everything's okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've stepped in up against Cal. Cal's an BJJ guy. So
I know.
Which is a bit unusual.
That's a bit unusual. Really, you shouldn't. I like what Mark Hasty done for me. He filled in for me. And gave me my match still. So I'm happy to do that for someone else. Fortunately, even though I've been down to Lycans and I've been to Marcos's, I've actually not came across him.
Yeah.
So that's good. So I don't actually know anything about him. Not in a rude way or anything like that. I've never met him. So it's actually a wee bit better that way. I'd like not knowing my opponent and not knowing what they're about. And it's a bit more exciting for me when I go in.
Yeah. It's a bit different, obviously, if you've obviously trained with them and stuff like that. Then
if I'd been training with them and I knew that's who it was against, because I didn't know who it was against either. It just said under 75. So if I did know he was a Marcos boy, I would have maybe thought twice about it. And if I had trained with him, I wouldn't have took the match. It wouldn't be fair.
Yeah. Let's don't worry about it. Obviously that. I mean, big Mark McQueen has been calling me out for months. Do you know what I mean? He was saying that the other day. I was in because they did a wrestling seminar just on Saturday, and I remember going in and Mark McQueen's like, "Right, Stoomboy, get on the mat," and I'm like, "I've got jeans and a jersey on." I'm like, "Fucking jeans and a jersey on." So he's always called me out, mate. Do you know what I mean? So
he's still grappling jeans. It's fine.
Listen, I thought I'd give him a chance, mate. I thought I'd let him off. So
exactly, let him off easy.
Yes. And then what about you then? So obviously 2022 is going to be big plans. Obviously competing with Draig or under Draig, and as I mentioned, Draig are everywhere at the moment. So I'm pretty sure you must have plans in place for 2022.
I'm really going to try and push the competitions this year. I said that last year, but obviously with COVID and everything else, and I didn't really get the chance to get the momentum going. So this is actually because I've been coaching so much, this is my first competition this year. So from now till the end of the year, I'm going to be hitting everything that I can. Local comps, everything. I really need the experience, so I'm just going to try and hammer it. Because I need to get, if I want to be in the team, I've got to earn my place in the team. So if I'm not competing, I'm not earning my place. So I need to. It's giving me a good drive. It's giving me a good way to go.
Yeah, it's good as well. I mean, obviously when Draig travel, they all travel together as well, which is which don't get me wrong, it does happen. But Draig are special because obviously these guys, you said, the pros, the pro athletes, and wherever one goes, the rest of them go with them.
The whole team goes. I know. You've got some level of support. Even when the boys, like if all of them aren't competing, they still all go. Unless they've got coaching obligations, that's the only time they won't. But because somebody needs to stay back to coach. But apart from that, if they can all go, they'll go. So like ADCC trials and all that sort of stuff, there was a full unit of them. So that's good. So I'll just see what they're hitting up and just go for there.
It's quite funny. Remember they came up for the power grappling. Obviously when they did the power grapple, that was again another one. You guys, 10th Planet, stepped in last minute. I remember messaging McGill because Chris and that Doogie messaged me and said, look, obviously the team that was originally going to be coming in had pulled out. Do you know a team who'll step up. I think it was only a few days' notice. And I remember the first team I was like, the first person I thought, I'm going to message McGill, 10th Planet. 10th Planet will do this, no problem whatsoever. And then McGill, obviously messaged McGill, and McGill's like, right, okay, let me get back to you. And I think he must have went around and obviously asked all you guys, and then straight away he came back, he's like, fuck yeah, man, we're in. So,
right. We were in, I was actually on the phone to him at the time. We'd both been doing work up at my mum's house, and I was on the phone to him about it. And then he said, well, I've just got this message about this. I was like, jump at that. Jump at that, because that's what we need. We need that experience. We need that exposure. And to be honest, that was the best thing that could have happened. Even though we got beat, and we got beat. They did run all over the top of us, but it's taught us a lot. And we knew them before for travelling up and down. But I think if we hadn't done that competition, I don't know if we'd be where we are now. So I think that competition really made it for us, and that's what let us in there.
Definitely. As I said, I knew that if I was going to find 5 guys in a couple of days to step up and take on Ash Williams and the rest of the Draig team, there was only going to be one team that was going to do it, and it was 10th Planet and you guys. So, and that's a fair play, man. You all 5 of you stood up to take on probably one of the best grapplers in the whole Europe at the moment.
I know.
And obviously the rest of the team that's following him as well.
3 black belts and 2 brown belts. It was a good match. It was a good match to get. So I was just lucky I didn't get broken by Tom Barry. I was just lucky there.
It was great fun though. It was great fun to watch. Great event as well, Power Grappling. So anybody that Power Grappling events come up, as I say, make sure you get watching that, because it's an awesome event. So
yeah, it's a great sub-only event. I was actually talking to Dougie the other day, so there might be some stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah, I know he was talking about the tag team event. I remember he was talking about that a while back, and Dougie's got all these mad plans. See when I talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think of that?" Or I'm thinking about doing that, and I'm like, "Dougie, how's all this going to work, man?"
I don't know, but he makes it work.
Oh yeah, mate, he does it all the time, right? But yeah, he's got some mad ideas. Do you know what I mean? So
it's good. It's a good promotion. It is a good promotion. It's a good promotion for Reaper as well.
Yeah.
Helps get them out there, so if we can get some of our own boys into that, then that would be great as well.
Definitely. And then Scott, final thing for you then. So obviously been in the game a good few years now. All right. So
4 years. 4 years, man.
So 4 years. Anybody you want to shout out to? So obviously the usual friends, family members, teammates, things like that.
Yeah, obviously I'm going to shout out to Jack and Miguel, Kenny and Chris as well. We've got the boys down at Reaper now. They're doing me great. They're giving me great training, and they're helping me develop myself as a coach. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate Chris reaching out to me for the coaching position and giving me somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm going to shout out to the Draig boys, because it's my team now, isn't it? So they're great. They really are. And every time you're with them, they're just passing on knowledge, and they just want the best for you. So I really appreciate everything they've done, taking us in as well. So I really appreciate that.
Definitely. What about your partner? You need to
my girlfriend, of course. I was about to say that. Can't miss her out. She's supporting the dream, to be fair. So she's helping me go. She's doing her best to help me train as much as I can. She's helped me prepare my food and all that. So she's really slaving away as well, trying to make everything work for me, supporting me going part-time, especially with the financial implications of it. So she's an absolute gem.
Yeah. Listen, the partners are absolutely brilliant, whether it's a husband, a wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? That's without these guys behind us, do you know what I mean? We wouldn't be able to do this shit, man.
No, exactly. I wouldn't be progressing if it wasn't for her, because my head would be up my arse, to be honest.
Yeah.
So she keeps me the straight and narrow.
Yeah, listen, we've got some training partners that aren't allowed to go out and train and stuff like that, because the missus won't let them, or the husband won't let them, and stuff like that. So, do you know what I mean? To have supportive partners and stuff like that is absolutely awesome. Do you know what I mean? So,
and that's why I bought her a dog as well, because she can't complain when I'm away. She's got somebody to keep her company.
Brilliant. So guys, there we go. We're going to see Scott McGill Draig up against Callan Cuthbert. So Lycan's BJJ. Going to be Saturday, May the 7th. Going to be Maryhill Community Halls, SGI10. So ticket availability through Scottish Grappling. anybody that can't make the event, pay-per-view is available. So head over to Scottish Grappling and you'll get your pay-per-view there. As I said, I'll be commentating on the night. I'm going to have a sidekick with me. We're going to find out who that partner in crime is going to be, hopefully soon, as it's been kept under wraps, but hopefully they'll make an announcement about it soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing you again, Scott.
Thank you.
I'm going to be catching up with Jack and McGill at some point next week. I think Jack was, because normally what I do, as I said, I normally message a day before, a couple of days before, and then get it all set up. So Jack and McGill, buzzing to speak to them as well. I mean, I always love you guys. So I've seen you a few times now. So always love seeing you guys coming out, buddy. All right.
Brilliant.
But listen, absolute pleasure as always, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your training.
Mate. I appreciate the interview as always as well.
Yeah, and listen, we'll catch up soon, buddy. All right.
Perfect. I'll see you soon, my man.
Take it easy, mate.
Right, have a good night. See you later.